On the night of February 26, 2012, 17-year-old Trayvon Martin was walking home in Stanford, Florida, after buying some snacks. He was followed by George Zimmerman, a 28-year-old neighborhood watch volunteer, who reported him as suspicious to the police.
It looks like he's up to no good, or he's on drugs or something. It's raining and he's just walking around looking about.
Okay, and this guy, is he white, black, or Hispanic?
He looks black.
Are you following him?
Yeah.
Okay, we don't need you to do that.
Okay.
Zimmerman followed Martin home and confronted him, ultimately shooting him in the chest, taking his life. Zimmerman said he feared for his own safety and was later acquitted of murder charges. The killing caused outrage in the black community, as many believe Zimmerman's suspicions was racially motivated. This led to the birth of the Black Lives Matter movement, which started as a hashtag on Twitter. Activist Alicia Garza coined the phrase, and Patrisse Cullors and Opal Tometi helped turn it into a social media and organizing tool. In 2014, they formalized part of the movement into a non-profit organization, the Black Lives Matter Global Network Foundation, to coordinate activism and fundraising. Most of the funding supported early local businesses, grassroots organizing, and programs. Donations were modest in the early years, but the foundation saw massive growth in 2020. On May 25, 2020, George Floyd, a 46-year-old black man, was killed in Minneapolis during an arrest for allegedly using a counterfeit $20 bill. Police officer Derek Chauvin knelt on Floyd's neck for over 9 minutes while Floyd was handcuffed and face down. Despite Floyd saying he couldn't breathe, the 3 officers that were present did not intervene. Floyd's death, captured on video, sparked worldwide protests against police brutality and systemic racism. Chauvin was later convicted of second-degree murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter. Floyd's death caused worldwide outrage, sparking protests and riots across the globe. Millions took to the streets to demand justice, racial equality, and police reform, while the Black Lives Matter movement gained unprecedented visibility. During this time, the foundation became a central hub for donations and organizing. In 2020, it raised over $90 million, far more than in any previous year. Most donations came from small donors averaging $30 to $33 each, while companies like Amazon, Microsoft, Google, Airbnb, Ben & Jerry's, and Coca-Cola made multi-million-dollar pledges. While corporate contributions were significant, grassroots donations made up the majority. These funds had the potential to make a difference in black communities, and a foundation run by 3 black women seemed well positioned to lead that change. However, questions emerged about how the money was being used. Analysts suggest 1/3 of the total was distributed to charitable causes or local chapters, with the rest retained for future projects, operational costs, or held in the foundation's accounts. Some operational expenses raised concerns. Tax filings showed the foundation paid contractors connected to Patrisse Cullors, including her partner, who was paid $970,000, and her brother, who was paid $840,000, recorded as contractor or consultant expenses. Reports also indicate Cullors owned several homes by 2021, including a high-profile property in Los Angeles worth $1.4 to $6 million. She stated these homes were purchased with her personal income from book deals, speaking engagements, and consulting, not foundation funds.
At commercial buildings, we looked at homes, and then we found this really amazing space that's a sweet spot between commercial and residential that has office spaces, that has parking, that has, yes, a home on the property, but also has a sound stage where you could do podcasts and you could do live events in the backyard.
Organization. I use the resources that we raise to resource Black-led grassroots organizations to change the rules in cities and states, to the tune of at least $1 million a year. But what if you don't like where I'm putting the money? What if there's a group you don't rock with that I rock with? Is it scandalous or is it a different approach? You decide. I would not have spent that money on a campus for artists and activists, me personally. But I'm not opposed to the idea of it. Black folks have been buying property and land now for generations as a way of generating stability and resources for our movement.
Meanwhile, some local BLM chapters face serious legal trouble. In Oklahoma City, a local leader, Tashella Dickerson, was indicted on 20 counts of wire fraud and 5 counts of money laundering for allegedly diverting over $3 million in donated funds for personal use, including international trips, shopping, groceries, and a vehicle. She also allegedly submitted false financial reports to hide her actions. This case shows challenges of accountability in a decentralized movement and involved in an independent local chapter, not the national foundation. In the end, the three people started a movement on Twitter that grew into millions of dollars of donations. Suddenly having so much money and influence was more than they were ready for. Some of it was mismanaged and they weren't able to tackle a problem as large as systemic racism. The story of Black Lives Matter shows both the power of a social movement and the challenges of handling enormous responsibility.